Hey guys, and welcome to another tea time chat. I hope you have your tea today. I am drinking hyssop tea, and hyssop is supposedly good for like your intestinal and respiratory health, and it's just calming. This is the brand that we have, Buddha Teas, and it's super good. It doesn't have a really bold flavor, but of course you can add your sweeteners or whatever you do, but it is pretty calming and mild, so I like it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the pressure to perform. That's what we're gonna call it. And it kind of came out of the last video that I made about like how we should really be using our time right now, since a lot of us have a little bit more time because we're forced to be in. And I think part of what comes from downtime is this pressure to do something. But even if, let's just say post COVID and you just have this, internal pressure that's pushing you, or external pressure that's pushing you to do something, to perform in some way, or if not, you're going to be left behind, or if not, you are going to fail at life, or whatever it may be. Where does that come from? I think we all experience it. I know I have, and I've talked to people and they just feel like there's more I need to be doing, but I don't know what that may be. Or I feel like I'm not moving fast enough in whatever it is that I do want to do. And so in me thinking about that, I think about where I am right now in life compared to where I was a year ago. A year ago, I was pregnant, but I didn't, have a baby. And so I still kind of had a lot more free time and time to just do me, whatever that was, right? Whatever I wanted to do, I did for the most part. And it was easier to do those things because it was really just me that I had to take care of, if you will. Outside of like my home and general duties and responsibilities, it was just me. Well, fast forward to kind of going towards the end of my pregnancy, and then of course having a baby, I realized how much I had to slow down, whether I wanted to or not. Like my body, my mind, all of that was just like, sis, you gotta chill. You have this, new precious thing that's at the, when I was still pregnant, it was coming. And then I was more tired and I just wasn't feeling well. And then of course I had to prepare myself for motherhood and, welcoming a child into the picture. And so that slowed me down tremendously. So like the beginning of last year, I was doing a little bit of everything. I was in a leadership program. I had relaunched my juicing business, which is still active right now. So hit up bewhole.com to order your juices, smoothies, and herbal teas and yoni steams. But I had the business was just booming because it was it was fresh, and I was just had a lot more time and energy to put into it. I had started a new job. We were moving into a house, so there was like a lot going on in my life. And for the most part, I was up for it. Like, that's what I like. I like to be moving. I like to be doing. That makes me feel like I'm contributing in some way. But then towards the end of the year, and then of course, when my baby came, all of that just about came to a halt. And, for that time, I was like, fine, this just is what it has to be, because physically I just like really couldn't. But then, it was like, okay, Aisha, when are you going to get back to doing all those things? Is there anything more that you could or should be doing? What is it like that is holding you up, if anything? And I read a quote, and I wish I could remember what the quote was, but it was something related to, we always feel like we have to be doing something, but it's okay to just be. And sometimes being, whatever that is what is necessary to recharge us. Now, after some time of just kind of pausing, resting, readjusting to this new normal that I have, that's probably going to be a theme, a new normal for me. Now that I've had a chance to do those things, I'm even more energized and I have more strategy. But beyond that, where does the pressure to perform come from? And I think there was a few things that I had to consider when I realized that that I felt this pressure to do something, to do more. One of those things was, one, to consider, where was it coming from? Is it an internal drive? Is it something that's just deep within me that I really care to be doing this, or I'm really passionate about XYZ, and I don't want it to just go by the wayside? Or is it external? And those external things are usually related to what we see and hear from other people. You know, people ask me, are you still doing this? Are you still doing that? I am. It's slowed down a little bit. I'm no longer full press right now. You know, I had to pull back a little bit, but yes, I still am. Or it's this idea that, man, if I don't, somebody else will. And although all of that could be a potential, you have to really consider where you are, because the external pressures are oftentimes what will lead us into premature or immature actions. A premature action is an action that is just too soon. It's come too soon. And if it's not mature enough to really be able to do what you want it to do, then it won't be successful, it won't be effective. It's too soon. An immature action is one that is not well thought out. It's too childish, if you will. It's just not ready, you know, it's not developed well to be able to handle what you're trying to do. And so keep in mind that pressure that you feel could be pushing you into premature, immature actions. And then lastly, does it align with your true purpose? And in order to know that, you kind of have to know what your purpose is. Not too long ago, I was talking to my husband and telling him about some of the ideas and things that I had. And I said, within this time period, this is what I see and what I desire. And so, you know, let's think through how we gonna get there or whatever. And I started rambling off a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I can do this, I can do that, blah, blah. And he's like, wait a minute, hold on. You could do all those things, but you really need to take it to God to make sure what you're doing is align with what he wants you to do, because otherwise you're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And for me, that is never going to be anything fulfilling. So it has to be something that's tied to purpose, and that purpose for me comes from God. And so the same thing for anybody else. You know, you are not behind just because you're not, in your mind, doing a whole lot. That the planning, the thinking, the strategizing, the praying, the meditating, the studying, research, all of those things are fuel to getting you to that where you need to go. But don't allow the pressures of the world, don't allow the pressures of life, don't allow the pressures of social media and everything that you see cause you to move quicker than you need to. You need to make sure that that thing is developed and that you are developed to get to where you need to go. Pressure is going to always be there. You just got to make sure that with that pressure comes some wisdom and patience, so that whatever you're doing is going to be effective. It's going to be productive, profitable if that is, something that is tied to what you're looking to do, and just overall impactful. Otherwise, we're literally just spinning our wheels because we feel like we need to do something. And if there's something that I cannot stand, is when people talk or do just for the sake of talking or doing. Okay, so grab you some tea, grab you a journal, and just think about what it is that you need to do to make sure that you are not pressured into doing things, pressured into performing. Because think about, who are you performing for? Think about it. Is it really helping somebody for you to be out here doing a bunch of stuff? Or does it just look good? It gotta be purposeful and within the timing that it's supposed to be. So until next time, friends.